What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are talking NXT Takeover 31. We had a really good wrestling show last night. It was an NXT Takeover, which always usually delivers, but it had a different feel because it now has its own arena. NXT has like a new rebranded home. So before we get into everything that happened in terms of action, we're going to talk a little bit on this new arena that NXT have, so stay tuned. Right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you click the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the review. So the NXT Performance Center has been rebranded into the Capital Wrestling Center. It's its own mini Thunderdome almost, and WWE always do such a good job with things like this. This is why I really love WWE above all other kind of brands and promotions and stuff like that, because when it comes to presentation, production, yes, some may argue they have the most money, but they just do this kind of stuff so well, and the whole arena just really looks good. They've even put fans back in. I think it was a mix of fans and a mix of still NXT / Performance Center wrestlers, but the whole thing is just a really good idea. Gives that feeling that, you know, we're still moving towards getting back full capacity and getting full arenas, but it was really good. And with that, the show kicked off. We had the first ever championship match to be held in the Capital Wrestling Center, Damian Priest versus Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. This was a really good match. It was a good opening match. It wasn't the typical Johnny Gargano kind of takeover match in that sense, but it had some really good moments. Johnny doing all he can to always chop down Damian Priest to size so he can wrestle him. Obviously, Damian Priest being the bigger man in a lot of the scenarios, but Damian Priest often strong arming Johnny Gargano, a lot of big man moves. We saw attempts of Razor's Edge, a lot of big boots, a lot of strikes from Damian Priest in this match. Despite Johnny Gargano's heel character, there wasn't really any kind of shenanigans that I can remember anyway within this match. Those are all saved for later, so don't worry, we'll get onto them. But in this match, yeah, Johnny Gargano really tried to overcome Damian Priest, and when he went for his final beat, DDT, Damian Priest actually reversed this into a reckoning off the ropes, and he got the win. So Damian Priest retains the North American Championship, which I think is the right move. I don't think anyone would have been super interested for Johnny Gargano to pick that up again, and where would he go from there anyway? So yeah, good little run Damian Priest is on right now, and he retained the North American Championship against Johnny Gargano. Next up, we had Kushida versus Velveteen Dream, and Velveteen Dream was still kind of doing his entrance and, you know, all the kind of swagger and flamboyance that comes with it, when Kushida just struck out of nowhere. Kushida did not enter, you know, from the entrance way. He just appeared in the ring. He practically just appeared in the ring and attacked Velveteen Dream, and this match kind of got underway straight away. And Kushida even looked like he still was adding more edge and more layers to his character. Wrestled in jeans, you know, he usually is in his like Time Splitters themed shorts. Wrestled in jeans against Velveteen Dream, and from day one of the match beginning, he was going straight after the arm of Velveteen Dream, really putting pressure on that left arm and was working it throughout the match. There were periods in this match where Velveteen Dream really did take the ascendancy, but Kushida stayed strong throughout the match, stuck to what he knew, was still going on a lot of submission moves, especially putting pressure on the arm like I said before. In the end, after a Death Valley driver by Velveteen Dream, Kushida never let go of the arm, kind of rolled through, applied the hoverboard lock, and Velveteen Dream eventually had to tap out. He couldn't take the pain anymore. Velveteen Dream was yelling, "My arm, my arm, my arm," but Kushida still didn't let go after the bell, and eventually when he did, celebrated for a bit, he went straight back onto Velveteen Dream, putting an armbar on him, putting another submission on him as well. Referees and everything came down to really break it up. Kushida, what's going on, mate? He's literally just lost the screw, and he was on one, really. This is probably going to forward him as a heel, because this is way past just being a face that's taken for granted and has a bit of edge, as they were saying. This is kind of dipping into heel territory, attacking somebody after the bell, you know. So Kushida with a kind of a new lease of life. Velveteen Dream, obviously we know there's probably some other factors that are kind of slowing him down in NXT, and they don't want to kind of put him out in the spotlight too much. So not really sure where Velveteen Dream's going to go from here, but Kushida looks like he's on the up. Next up, we had the NXT Cruiserweight Championship match, Santos Escobar versus Swerve Scott. And this was a very, very entertaining match. It was always kind of a matter of what is Escobar going to do now to pull off the win against Swerve, because Swerve has already pinned him twice before. The only man in WWE to pin Escobar is Swerve. So Swerve knows how to win, but Escobar knows how to stay alive and, you know, when it counts, pull out something from the hat. And in this match, despite their back and forth and kind of matching up each other on the cruiserweight moves, again, there was something that kind of saved Escobar within the parts of the match, and that was his boys Legado del Fantasma, Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. They came out, caused a distraction at one point, and as it looked like they were probably going to succeed with that distraction over Swerve Scott, Asante Adonis, formerly known as Tahuti Miles, came out and kind of made the save, chased off Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. There was no kind of previous relationship, on screen one anyway, between Swerve Scott and Asante Adonis, so it was a bit random at the time, but hey, the match continued and Swerve Scott, there was a period, like a little 3-minute period where Swerve Scott picked up momentum, move after move after move. I thought, this is it, Swerve Scott is actually going to do it. Santos Escobar kicked out, heading towards the finish. Both men found themselves on the apron, and Isaiah Swerve Scott was pushed into like the back of an exposed turnbuckle. It was really weird, you just kind of need to see it. Swerve then rolled into the ring. Escobar hit him with like a kind of knee strike maneuver sort of thing and got the pin. So really disappointing for Swerve. I did kind of think with that finish particularly, it was really flat. The match deserved a bigger finish than what we got, in my opinion, but it was a really good showing for Swerve Scott. And you know, I think this is 2 attempts he's had now for Santos Escobar's title. Hasn't happened for him. I can't help but feel that maybe this was his last, and him not winning it, maybe he's going to be drafted, you know, in the draft in the next couple of days. Maybe he's going to be moving up to the main roster. Yeah, it was somewhat disappointing not to see Swerve win. However, Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar especially, he is just really doing some good things right now, putting that cruiserweight title on the map, and maybe that's why they really just want to keep it on him, at least in the short term. So we saw Asante Adonis get involved for the first time, kind of giving a spot, but it wasn't enough to help Swerve over the line, and Santos Escobar retained the championship here. Before I get on with the 2 big championship matches on the night, guys, if you are enjoying this review, please make sure you smash the like button. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up. It's thoroughly appreciated right here at WrestleManiac UK, and it does loads for the channel. So if you haven't already, smash the like button. Next up, we had the NXT Women's Championship match, Candice Larae versus Io Shirai. And I was very confident that on this show we weren't going to see a lot of title changes, if any. But this was the one match where I thought this might be the title change. Candice Larae to pick it up. And guys, this match was really entertaining. Probably in terms of entertainment value, this was the best match on the card. We had Candice Larae, who was almost kind of bullying Io Shirai at parts of the match. You know, a lot of trash talk, just kind of beating Io from pillar to post, and Io not managing to get a lot of offense in, especially the first half of this match. She clawed her way back into this match, and of course, these are 2 brilliant superstars, 2 brilliant female superstars that could wrestle males easily. Like, these are probably 2 of the best at what they do in the world, no doubt about it. The match took a turn when Candice LeRae was, I think, punching Io Shirai in the corner. The referee was getting pretty close, doing his 5 count and telling Candice LeRae to stop. And as Candice LeRae was kind of moving away from that whole situation, I think she accidentally elbowed the referee in his face. The referee was kind of knocked out, didn't know where he was for a bit, and of course Candice LeRae kind of began to see a potential opening there. As Io Shirai kind of fought her way back into this match, she went up top for a moonsault. Candice LeRae had her knees up. She bounced off Candice LeRae's knees into this staggering official that already couldn't see where he was going, and he fell out the ring. So now it was open. I just thought, this is it. Shenanigans galore. Where is Johnny Gargano? I was already looking for him because I knew something was about to go down. Candice LeRae then hit Io Shirai with some type of stomp move and went for the pin. All of a sudden you see Johnny Gargano running down the entranceway wearing a referee's top, putting on the referee's top, going to count the pin for Candice LeRae. And I was just thinking, they've just done this months ago with Bayley and Sasha. Surely not. 1, 2, Io Shirai kicks out. So Johnny Gargano is completely perplexed. how she managed to kick out. Candice Larae continues to work on Io Shirai. Johnny Gargano goes to get the NXT Women's Championship. I don't know what he was planning, or maybe he was planning to give it to Candice Larae all along. As he does this and brings it back into the ring, the referee, the original referee, kind of gets his wits about him and is asking Johnny Gargano, what are you doing here and what are you doing wearing a referee's top? They argue back and forth. Johnny Gargano has dropped the NXT title at this point. Candice Larae has picked it up and has clocked Io Shirai over the head with it, has gone for the pin. The referee, original ref, counts a 2 and then Io Shirai kicks out. So nothing that these guys have tried at this point has worked. Eventually, Io Shirai fights back into this match again, delivers a Spanish fly with Candice LeRae off the top rope, climbs straight back up to the top rope, delivers her moonsault and gets the 3 count. Io Shirai retains the Women's Championship and Johnny Gargano is losing his mind outside the ring. He is such a cartoon character right now. Like, some people might hate it, but I really think this is something new for him. We have seen him be, you know, the darling of NXT and also kind of be a heel. Now he's just like an idiot. He's just a complete jerk. He's just a really annoying person, but funny at the same time. But yeah, Io Shirai retained here. After the match, Toni Storm appeared on the Titron, congratulating Io for successfully defending the championship and letting it be known that she's coming to NXT soon, so she better watch out. Something along those lines. Now, I thought Toni Storm was this person that's been, you know, riding around the green screen, night vision goggle thing, saying that they're coming back to reclaim their NXT titles or whatever the case may be. However, it actually wasn't, because moments after Toni Storm went off the Titron, this person, the green screen goggled riding around person, done a little vignette again that was on the Titron, which was kind of confusing because they just had Toni Storm kind of appear within that role, if you get what I mean. And then we saw this person walk into the Performance Center building and then out into the entranceway of the actual arena, take off their motorcycle helmet, and as everybody guessed it probably would be, yes, it was Ember Moon. So Ember Moon has now returned to NXT, and I'm guessing between herself and the arriving Toni Storm, these are going to be Io Shirai's next couple challengers for the Women's Championship on NXT. So yeah, I think this was a bit confusing with how they handled it, especially having that little Toni Storm promo before Ember Moon eventually came out, revealing herself to be this person that we've been seeing vignettes of for the last couple of weeks. It wasn't really done in the best way, but good to have 2 really good competitors joining the women's division, giving Io Shirai a run for her money. Last but not least, we had the NXT Championship match between Finn Balor and the challenger Kyle O'Reilly, and this was a really good wrestling match. You know, there wasn't like crazy high spots or massive reversals that you thought were really gonna be the end of the match. This was just a really solid match, really good ability, technical wrestling match between these 2 guys, and I was really kind of surprised but impressed with how the story was just left for Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly to tell. No interruptions by Undisputed Era, which is I guess what most people thought would happen. You know, these 2 just told a really good story in the ring. Finn Balor constantly working on Kyle O'Reilly's ribs. He sold that very well. We saw all kinds of technical strikes and submissions between these 2. And I mean, if this is your kind of thing that you like to see in your wrestling, then you would absolutely love this match. It was a very, very good match. In the end, we saw Kyle O'Reilly get put away with a coup de grace off the top rope, which I feel kind of left a bit of a flat feeling maybe for some. Like, I think there was some people that thought, you know, is Kyle gonna win the big one? But I think Finn Balor, he has a tremendous NXT Takeover record, by the way. I think this is 13 straight wins or something like that. Maybe they're going to try and build him to have a little mini streak or something, I don't know. But after the bell, Finn Balor showed respect to Kyle O'Reilly, and as Kyle O'Reilly was kind of returning the favor and he was about to lift up Finn Balor's arm, you just saw Ridge Holland walk out with somebody over his shoulder, and as he threw the person on the floor, you saw it was Adam Cole. Adam Cole's shirt was torn open, he was coughing, like, you know, he'd clearly been beaten up at the hands of Ridge Holland. All of a sudden, Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish kind of run out to give their help and support. And for me, this was a bit like, why? Why did this happen? You know, how did this happen? Of course, we didn't see it happen on TV. And for me, this was just kind of a dampener on this whole segment, especially where these men were showing respect. Kind of took the spotlight off Kyle O'Reilly, which he deserved, and kind of put it back on Adam Cole. It was just kind of weird, like they would do something like this right at the end of a championship match, especially where, you know, someone other than Adam Cole is kind of having their light shone on them in this big match. Now, the only thing I've thought of that could come of this is maybe Finn Balor somehow got Ridge Holland to take care of Adam Cole so that there will be no involvement in the championship match. Maybe, yeah, Ridge Holland and Finn Balor are in cahoots somewhat, I don't know, but at the same time, they probably do have big plans for Ridge Holland, and this is kind of a big spot to give him, on a takeover. However, I did just think this was kind of weird straight after a championship match, and it didn't involve either of the men in the ring, it just involved someone else, I guess. So guys, that was my NXT Takeover 31 review. A really good show where all the champions retained their championships. There was no title changes, which for some people might be a bit dull, but you know, if you watch the matches, it was deserved. I guess in most places it was really deserved and portrayed very well. Obviously, we'll be back later on this week on Thursday with our NXT review. We'll see the fallout of Takeover maybe, and maybe see who's going to be next facing for certain championships, especially the women's title, where it looks like we've got a couple new contenders to talk about. Guys, if you enjoyed this review, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.